everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be replacing these front discs and pads on a Nissan X-Trail. And as you can see, it's got a quite severe ring of corrosion on the disc here. It lives near the beach. What's just happened is that water sat on it and it's rusted through the friction material there. So we've already got the fluid reservoir cap off to relieve the pressure when we're compressing the pistons. And so let's just crack on with the job. Okay, I'm actually going to start by removing this clip that holds the brake flexi in for the caliper, and I'll show you why in a minute. Let's just first grab hold of it and twist it out like so, and you can pop that back. Now that's free. Now with that off, I'm going to come back down to the caliper here. I'm going to take my screwdriver in, slightly compress it, the piston in. It doesn't want to go straight on here. Alright, we've got a little bit of movement in there, that should be okay. But now we're going to get our 40mm spanner and undo these two carrier bolts here. Now this is the reason when we undid the brake hose. So what we can do now is wiggle that off. Just settle that down there without any strain being put on the hose. We're going to get our screwdriver again. Work these pads out. Okay, now we're going to undo these two carry the hub bolts here. So we're going to get our 19mm spanner. Give it a good yank. With them cracked loose now, I'm just going to see them out with a ratchet. And with those two bolts loose, that just lifts off. And fortunately, in this occasion, so does the disc, which is a little bit heavy. Now it's time to give it a good clean. So just bring it down with some brake clean, then coming in behind with a wire brush on a drill. As you can see, it's now the carrier's turn to get attacked by the drill. And what we've done is taken the shims off, which is here somewhere, so we can expose to the metal there as well. So you want to take the shim off here, so you can expose the metal in here, so you can clean that up too, just so it all sits nice and smooth as possible. We also check that the slides are moving properly, which they are, both sides. So happy days. Blueprint discs come with a 3-year warranty, so they're just as good as the Nissan ones you come out of the factory with. Right, what we're going to do now before we fit it is give it a blast of brake clean, because in transport they cover these in an oil to stop it from getting rusty. And I want to just clean all that off quickly. Right, now let's literally just going to slide this on. So now we're just going to reassemble everything in the reverse order of how it come off. Okay, so we're going to push these pistons back in now. I'm going to slot them into place. I'm using a piston compress tool. You can get all sorts of different varieties of this. Over on my TikTok I always get comments about how I'm using the wrong tool for the wrong application, but if it gets the job done properly, it gets the job done properly. You can use a big pair of pliers, or even just try forcing it all the way in with a screwdriver at the start. It's up to you, whatever you got to hand. As long as the job gets done and you don't break anything. So these boots got a little bit of air behind. I just sorted this one out, but I thought I'd show you how to do it just in case as well. And if you just stick a pick in there and slightly lift up the boot, these will just depress back down and back into place. So this here was, if you probably go back a couple of frames, you'll be able to see how this was bulging out slightly. But now, just lift up the boot slightly, let the air out, and it goes back into place. So now we're going to pop that to one side and fit these pads in. Now it's time to fit the pads, and again we're using the Blue Point. Comes with a 3-year manufacturer warranty. Just put that sticker. There they are. This here is instructions and technical information. It's not a coaster, so use it. Right, now we're going to fit them, and we're going to pay attention to where this brake indicator went on the previous set of pads that come off. Yeah, sit them in at an angle and let them drop in like that then. Just move you around so you can see it better at the front. So you're going to push them in at an angle. And twist them in. As you can see, he's got a return spring here. So you want it to be able to pop back and forth, like so and so. Now just drop that caliper back into place. Squeeze the pads back in a little bit because they're popping back out on those springs. I'm going to take our screws. Do them with a hand tight for now to make sure that they're all lined up. Then nip them up with the spanner again. Okay, don't do what I just did and forget to put this back in. So it's got little notches in there, you have to line them all up. I'm going to send the tab up underneath. And what I do, because I don't believe in struggling, is just give it a gentle tap into place. And there you go, now job is a good one. Thank you guys, see you next week.